Right, let's start with my favourite Cracker Who Doctor. Yes, my favourite, which is the third Doctor, John Pertwee. I know most people chose Tom Baker as a favourite Doctor, so I really like John Pertwee as a third Doctor, really. So I like the 70s stories, most of them. Well, some of them I don't. Right, let's start with Spearhead from Space, which is again, I really like this story so much, and a great introduction to the third Doctor, John Pertwee, and introduction to Liz Shaw, and Autons as well. And they did like a movie style in this story, instead it is a four-parter. And yeah, a great story to introduce to third Doctor. Next up is Doctor Who and the Silurians. Yeah, it's a very good story introduced to Silurians, and it's a bit too long for this one. It's a one-parter, and it should have been like a four-parter for this one. That would be much better as well. So yeah, very good story. Next up is the Ambassadors of Death. I really like this cover, by the way. The Doctor and the Martians in base suit, which is really cool cover for this one. Yeah, I really like this story. I find it quite enjoyable for this one. Next up is the best story in season 7, Inferno Special Edition. So yeah, it's all about a Doctor goes to parallel universe for the first time. So yeah, he met the different version of Liz Shaw and Brigadier, and different version of Unit. So yeah, I really like the design for the creature. Look like a werewolf, kind of wolf type wolfman creature. So yeah, I love this story. I recommend this. If you're a fan of the first John Pertwee, so yeah, watch this. Next up is Terror of the Autons. Again, a great introduction to the Master, played by Roger D. Gargo. Hopefully I pronounced his last name right. Yeah, he's definitely the best Master ever, because he looks very evil man in Doctor Who. My next up is The Mind of Evil, which is my very first Doctor Who DVD ever. Yeah, my very first one. And yeah, I really like this story as well. Set in prison, and it's all about this the mind machine. It's all about what they feel. Like a Doctor, fear is the Daleks, Cybermen, like warriors. For the Master, it is a Doctor for some reason. So yeah, another great story. Next up is The Cause of Axos. Again, another good story. Next up is Colony in Space. It's alright story, and the Master only until halfway through. And yeah, it's alright story. Next up is The Demons, which is another great story, and a great performance for Roger D. Chicago as a Master in this story. So yeah, great story, great finale, great final story for season 8. So yeah, great story. Yeah, sorry, I know it's so itchy sometimes. Okay. Right then, now on to season 9. Start with Day of the Daleks. And they brought back the Daleks since their last appearance was the evil of the Daleks. So, yeah, they brought them back for this story. And yeah, it's a very, very good story for this story. For this Dalek story, so yeah, quite enjoyable. Nectar is The Curse of Paradon and Return of the Ice Warrior. This time, they're not a villain, they're actually a good guy for this story. And yeah, I like it. It's a good story. For the Ice Warrior story. And also I apologize for there's a noise in the background, so I'm sorry about that, so nothing I could do. Alright, next up is the Sea Devils with the Master in it. And yeah, a great story as well. And then they did bring the Sea Devils back in the Predators and Era, so they should bring the back for New Who as well. Next up is the Mutants, which is which is my least favourite in John Pertwee era, because it's too long, and it should have been like 4-parter for this one, in my opinion. Next up is the Time Monster. I know most people don't like the story, but I like it. I like it. Like 7 out of 10 like it. Yeah, I thought it was a good final story for season 9. Next up is the 3 Doctors for the 10th anniversary special. The very first multi-doctor story, and I loved it. They did it really well. They brought back Patrick Troughton, Will Hartnell. Well, he's only here briefly because of his illness. So yeah, I loved it, and then I really like it that the Doctor and second Doctor have an argument all the time. So I find it really funny, and yeah, I love this story. They did it really well for this anniversary story. Next up is Carnival of Monsters, which is the good story. Next up is it's like a Dalek War storyline. I think it's a 12-parter. So the first one is the Frontier in Space, which is the final appearance of Roger D. Gargo as a master in the story. The final appearance, which is a shame. They were originally to get him back for the John Pertwee final season, but he had a car accident that time, so it's a shame that here's a final appearance, and also Daleks went in it for briefly. So yeah, very good story. Next up is Planet of the Daleks. A very good story as well, and yeah, so yeah, very good story. Next up is The Green Death. Actually, another great finale for season 10. Again, sorry about the noise in the background. So ignore that. So I apologize. So I was saying, it's actually really great. Departure for Joe Grant, because she's actually perfect companion for the Third Doctor. He is like her daughter figure, in my opinion. So yeah, it's actually a bit emotional, and also I find it a bit terrifying story as well, because not because of Magus, because they turn into the big fly thing, big bug fly thing, whatever they called. They actually looked a bit terrifying, like they fly right through the like going to come at you, which I find it a bit scary for this one. So yeah, great story. So I recommend this. Next up is The Time Warrior, the introduction to the Sontarans, and the fan favorite Sarah Jane Smith, played by Elizabeth Sladen, who no longer with us. So yeah, a great Sontaran story, and also the first time that the Doctor named his planet Gallifrey in the story. So yeah, so this is where we find out what planet he is from. Alright, next up is Invasion of Dinosaurs. I find it good. I say my guilty pleasure. I know the dinosaurs look very cheap. Like action figure or something. So like they did the stop motion, or whatever. So yeah, I like this story. I find it a bit enjoyable though. Next up is Death to the Daleks, which I find it a bit silly story, but I like it. Like like one scene that the Daleks failed to guard the hostage, but it decided to self-destruct itself for no, which is a bit silly, and also it's also silly that Dalek get hit by sticks and rocks, and then they die just like that. Yeah, it's a silly story, but I like it. Next up is the Monte Paradon, which is I think it was a final appearance for Ice Boys and Quaxer, who never seen again until Matt Smith era. Yeah, this is the final appearance, and this time they are villain again, and they don't even show up until episode 5, I think, or episode 4. So it kind of, it's actually wasted. I mean, they don't appear much in the story, so yeah. And then next up, the final story for John Pertwee is Planet of the Spiders, which is originally they were going to call it the final game, with the completely different story, which did feature the Master in it, and then the Doctor the Master, or was it the Doctor sacrifice themselves? No, I think it was the Master sacrificed himself for the Doctor for some reason. So yeah, so they come up with this Planet of the Spiders. Yeah, it's a very good story. They could have think up better than this story. And the spiders figures look like robotics and that. So yeah, a very good story, and for Doctor final story, yeah. And then lastly is a Doctor's John Pertwee year. So I've seen bits of it. So I should watch all of it. So and I should get more of the Doctor's DVDs for all the Doctors really, but I didn't. Right, that's it for the John Pertwee era. And now for Tom Baker era with 7 seasons. So yeah, there'll be a lot to discuss about. So on to Tom Baker.